Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the visiting Raiders of Wellesley High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. We had a slight change in the originally planned schedule for today. Originally, this game was going to be played at over at Sprague Elementary in Wellesley, but I'm not sure, maybe the field conditions weren't right or something. All I know is today I heard that this game was going to be played at Warren instead, and so here we are. Brookline coming into this contest with a 1-2 record. They were supposed to play their fourth game of the season on Monday against Needham, but that game got rained out. 1 second. Yes. Got the start and lineup. I got a picture I can show you because they have it posted over on their over in their dugout.
Thank you.
No problem. So like I was saying, Brookline was supposed to play against Needham in Needham on Monday, but that game got rained out, and so this will instead be their fourth game of the season. And this should be a good one. The team's warming up at the moment. We were originally slated for a 4:30 p.m. start time today. That got moved down to 4 p.m., but seeing as we're still warming up, and I think we're still waiting on the officials to show up here, so I don't think we'll be getting that 4 p.m. Start time in. Apologies for the blanks in the sound here, folks. Just putting in, filling out starting lineups for today. One second. Which Murphy is starting today? Chase. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. The officials are here. Officials are here, and we'll soon be getting this one underway. Once again, thank you all for tuning in here today. And thank you to our sponsor for today, Esh Dental. Esh Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. You can book your next appointment with local dentist and BHS baseball parent Dr. Brandon Esh for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, that's 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com to find out more. You can see that link and phone number in the description section of this video down below. You can also find down below a link where you can donate money to the At Bat for Brookline Booster Club, the booster club of BHS Baseball. And you can also find a link and phone number relating to our local charity spotlight for today, the Brookline Food Pantry. The Brookline Food Pantry provides groceries to Brookline residents in need of food assistance. The food pantry has been serving an average of 650 households each week, and they are always looking for more people willing to lend a hand, whether that be through monetary donations, direct food donations, or volunteers in the pantry. Food donations can be made at United Parish at 210 Harvard Street in Coolidge Corner on Wednesdays and Fridays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monetary donations can be made online at the food pantry's website, brooklinefoodpantry.org. Go online or call 617-800-5339 for more information about how you can help feed your community. Once again, that's brooklinefoodpantry.org or call 617-800-5339. And again, all that information can be found in the description section of this video down below. And so real quick, as Brookline is getting ready to take the field here for the top of the first inning, let's go through the starting lineups for today. We'll start with the visiting Wellesley High Raiders, who are soon coming to the plate. Leading off for Wellesley, second baseman number 2, Will Zalosh. Batting second, the third baseman number 14, Max Boehm. Batting third, the center fielder number 18, Will Webster. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter number 3, Chase Murphy. Batting fifth, the shortstop number 1, Will Goggin. Batting sixth, the catcher number 22, Cam Lynch. Batting seventh, the pitcher, number 10, Jack O'Grady. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 28, Arun Debar. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. And now we'll take a look at the starting pitcher for Brookline today. I'll see if I can get through the Brookline order fast enough. But for now, starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 17, Nico Rabiner. Rabiner made his varsity debut in the season opener at Waltham last weekend. Or no, not last weekend, last Monday. Not the most recent Monday, but last Monday. Excuse me. Started the game, pitched 4 shutout innings to earn the win for Brookline. Their only win so far. They're hoping he can deliver for them again. Had a whip of 1.5 and 2 strikeouts in that outing. So Brookline hoping for strong results from him here, as they got one last meeting on the mound coming up. These two teams faced off twice last season. The first game they had was here in Brookline, and Wellesley dominated Brookline to the tune of a 16-0 Mercy Rule win in 5 innings. Second game, of course, a big one for Brookline, as they got a thrilling 5-4 victory that clinched their 10th win to clinch them a playoff spot, as we get this game underway. Nico Rabiner missed that one high. I might have missed the first pitch while I was looking at my stats on the sheet. That one apparently missed as well. Not sure if it's 2-0 or 3-0. Like I said, I might have missed that first pitch. That one in the zone for a strike. Like I said, my count here might be slightly off. And it was. I missed the first pitch, and the first pitch was a ball. And so it is a leadoff walk for the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh. So a runner at first to start for Wellesley, now batting the third baseman, number 14, Max Boehm. The ump taking a second, talking to the Wellesley bench. Boehm in the first game against Brookline last year, he went 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored and an RBI, but went 0 for 4 in their second outing. As this one hits the zone, slight cut on that pitch that dropped into the high corner for strike one. No outs. Will Zalosh at first for the Raiders. That one high and inside for ball one. Temperature in the high 40s today. A nice sunny day out. A bit of a breeze, dropping the temperature a bit here as that pitch from Rabiner hits the zone for strike two. One and two, the count to Boehm. Swing and a miss, strike three. After a couple of high strikes, Rabiner mixes it up, going low and inside with that one to catch Boehm swinging for the first out. Now batting for the Raiders, the center fielder, number 18, Will Webster. Runner taking off. It's a high ball. Throw down to second, and they got him. Great throw down by the Brookline catcher, Felix Hom. Tag applied well by, I believe, the shortstop, Jimmy DiPaolo. And really, that was just the perfect pitch that Brookline wanted, a high fastball to limit the amount of movement that Hom had to do to get up into a throwing position to throw down Zalosh there. So we go from 1 out runner on first to 2 outs, bases empty. As the official talking to the Brookline bench, it seems like he's trying to make sure everybody stays in a certain spot, I think. This one skied up, being tracked in foul territory and out of play for a foul ball for strike one. Well, that one started to make me a little nervous, but ultimately went over my head. And so I'm okay, and the equipment is okay. That one drops low. It's a 3-1 count to Webster. Webster last year did not appear in either of the games against Brookline, as he fouls that one off for strike two. That one looked like a straight fastball, but Webster a little bit out in front of it. So it might have been a slight off speed there. Full count now to Webster. And he tips that one to stay alive. Rabiner caught him chasing the low breaking ball, but Webster managed to get a piece of it to survive. Count still full. And that one drops low for ball four. And Webster will trot down to first with the second walk of the inning. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 3, Chase Murphy. Murphy last year in the first game against Brookline went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run. And in the second game, he did not play, as he takes a high inside pitch for ball one there. Runner at first, 2 down here in the top of the first. And this one sliced foul and out of play. Rabiner, not the hardest throwing pitcher, but he's got good placement and good movement on his pitches when he's in control. He's had a little bit of trouble with his control this inning, allowing 2 walks. And that one just inside, did not curve enough to get back in the zone. Ball 2. And a pickoff attempt. And Webster darts back to the bag. Rabiner trying to catch him with his body momentum going away from the bag there, but Webster darts back. And a fastball blows by Murphy there for strike two. I don't know if Rabiner heard me say that he's not the hardest thrower and he wanted to prove me wrong on that or something, but a strong fastball there. 2-2. And that one in the zone for strike three. He went with back-to-back fastballs to get Murphy out and end the inning. So a back and forth of all the true outcomes for Nico Rabiner. Walk, strikeout. A runner thrown out attempting to steal second sandwiched in there, as Brookline holds off the Wellesley offense in the first inning. Now as Brookline gets ready to come to the plate, let's go through the starting lineup for Brookline today as the Wellesley pitcher, number 10, Jack O'Grady, warms up on the hill. Leading off for Brookline today, the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Batting second, the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Batting third, the shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Batting seventh, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 16, Armand Tandone. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. And of course, not in the batting order, but on the mound for Brookline today, number 17, Nico Rabiner. All right, here we go. Bottom of the first inning, leading off for Brookline, the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel has had a very interesting start to the season as he takes high ball one there. You can see his stats for the season so far at the bottom of your screen, just above our Esh Dental logo. 0 for 6 with a team-leading 5 walks, 1 stolen base, and 2 runs scored as he takes a high ball 2 there. So triple zeros for his batting average, but almost 500 for his on-base percentage. That one catches the zone for strike 1. Brendel last year against Wellesley went 0 for 2 in that Mercy Rule loss in the first game. In the second game, he went 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored as he takes strike 2 there. 2-2 the count. Brendel has not swung yet. Definitely the most patient hitter in Brookline's order as he fouls that one off to stay alive. Looked like a fastball, but also looked like Brendel was a bit out in front of it. 2-2 the count. And gets a piece of that one, but it's stabbed by O'Grady, and he flips it to first for out number 1. Good fielding by the Wellesley hurler there. Looks like it was going to be an infield ground out either way, but we're playing on grass here, so you never know what kind of weird hop things will take if it goes further into the infield. And so Jack O'Grady takes care of that one for a 1-3 ground out. Now batting the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Big swing and a miss there for strike 1. Bollinger so far this season 1 for 11 with a walk, 2 stolen bases, and an RBI. As that one misses low and away, ball 1. We've talked about it before this season, how Brendel and Bollinger almost polar opposites in their approach at the plate. Brendel, very patient, almost passive approach at the plate. Bollinger, very aggressive, unless, it's a clear miss out of the zone like these past 2 pitches. That one missed way high and in for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Bollinger. Hits that one, a hard grounder over to short, fielded clean, thrown to first, in time for out number 2. Will Goggin taking care of business there for the Raiders. 2 down now in the inning. Now batting for Brookline there, shortstop number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch, and he chases it low for strike 1. DiPaolo been the most consistent hitter for Brookline so far, as you can see. A nice start at 4 for 9 with a walk, a hit by pitch, and 3 runs scored. As that one misses outside for ball 1. O'Grady certainly happier to have those kind of misses when there's nobody on the base paths, as a wild pitch like that would have allowed a runner to advance if there were runners on base. That one hits the zone, strike 2. A very efficient first inning for O'Grady so far. He's been hitting the zone consistently. But that one misses low, ball 2. 2-2 the count to DiPaolo. And fouls off the breaking ball there to stay alive. O'Grady trying to go off speed with that one after attacking with fastballs primarily. But DiPaolo able to make contact and stay alive. Slices this one, fouling out of play. And the at-bat continues. As that one flies into the tennis courts. That one misses just outside, ball 3. Good watch by DiPaolo to draw the full count. And a hard shot here into center field. Jimmy DiPaolo once again with a base hit as his strong start to the season continues. Runner at first with 2 down. Now up the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. First pitch slices it foul, strike 1. Felix Hom in Brookline's last game on Friday against Newton South had what I thought was an RBI double to right center, but was actually scored on Game Changer as a 2-base error by the outfielder. So Hom's only RBI so far came from an RBI double that he hit against Waltham in the season opener, in a very similar situation to what he has here. 2 outs, DiPaolo at first in the first inning. That one drops low for ball 1. Hom has certainly displayed a strong degree of pop in his bat so far, but thus far just 1 for 8 at the plate with that 1 RBI double and 3 walks as he fouls this one out of play for strike 2. Last year against Wellesley, Hom went 0 for 2 in the first game and 1 for 3 with a run scored in the second game, while playing 2 different positions in those 2 games, as that one misses outside for ball 2. As fans will probably remember that Felix Hom for the most of last season was Brookline's starting shortstop. But in that second Wellesley game, he actually started behind the plate, much like what he's been doing all season this year, as he takes a high ball 3 to work his way to a full count. And that's a ball 4 as Hom draws the 2-out walk, his 4th free pass of the season thus far. And so Brookline starting to make things happen with 2 outs, but still just 1 out away from coming away with nothing here in the first, as they'll send out a courtesy runner for the catcher Hom. As coming to the plate for the Warriors, the designated hitter number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. Running in place of Hom will be number 20, Connor Fitzgerald. First pitch to Mazzara misses low and away, ball 1. Mazzara so far this season, 3 for 7, 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Did not start last Friday against Newton South. Came in as a pinch hitter late in the game and struck out as he slices that one foul for strike 1. But overall, he has had a pretty solid start to the season. Last year against Wellesley, Mazzara went 0 for 2 at the plate in the Mercy Rule loss and did not play in the second game. So he's hoping to play a significant role in a win this time against the Raiders. Currently staring down a 1-1 count with 2 runners on and 2 out in a scoreless first inning. Big swing and a miss there, strike 2. Swung underneath the fastball that time as O'Grady gave him the high heat. 1-2 the count. And a timeout called just as O'Grady was getting ready to pitch. That might throw him off his rhythm. And he skies this one, going to stay in the infield. Goggin calling for it, and he dropped it, and a run is going to come in. Lost it in the sun. And Brookline is going to score their first run of the game on an E6. DePaulo in to score, running on contact on that pop-up. And having 2 outs in that situation actually benefited Brookline, as it meant the runners were going to be running aggressively. If there weren't 2 outs, that might have been an infield fly rule, and instead for Brookline, they bring in a run. So 1-0 the Brookline advantage, now batting the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Takes that one high for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. The younger Hoffman so far this season 1 for 10 with a hit by pitch and an RBI. Hoping to do some damage here with 2 runners on and 2 out, as he takes that one low for ball 2. Eli Hoffman, of course, not on the varsity team last year, so he didn't play in either game against Wellesley. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. Two and two, 2 outs, 2 runners on. And Hoffman fouls it off to stay alive. Ooh, it hit him. Eli Hoffman gets hit by a pitch for the second time so far this season and loads the bases for his older brother. And now the coach coming out to talk to his starting pitcher, Jack O'Grady. Pardon me, folks. Maybe spring now, but still kind of cold, and that can clog up the sinuses. My apologies. Bases juiced with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. At the plate, the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch almost hits him, but just missed. Ball 1. As Wellesley avoids disaster on that pitch just barely, as a hit by pitch would have brought in another run. That one hits the zone for strike 1. Hoffman so far this season 2 for 9 with a walk, a hit by pitch, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI. He's hoping to add to that RBI mark here. That one's going to be a low ball 2. Hoffman last year in the first game against Wellesley 0 for 1 with a walk. In the second game 0 for 2 with a walk. As he fouls that one off, strike 2. Brookline down to their final strike of the inning for the fourth straight hitter, actually. Actually, I think 5th straight hitter. As every batter for Brookline's had a 2-strike count so far. That one hits the zone for strike 3. Brookline gets a run across on a fielding error and loads the bases, but cannot do any more damage. But they do take the lead at the end of 1. Our score, Brookline 1, Wellesley 0. And going back to that run scoring error, you know, it's so tough with those high pop-ups because, you know, their trajectory can change just ever so slightly, especially we got some wind here today. And once those really high pop-ups have a chance to hit terminal velocity, like, if you're just slightly off in your positioning, it's so hard to try and correct it so fast. And like I said, you combine that with the breeze the stiff breeze we've been getting on and off so far today, and combine that with the fact we got like no clouds in the sky. It's a bright sunny day. And, you know, all I'm saying is appreciate the pop-up catches at this level a little more than you would appreciate them at the pros, is all I'm saying. Top of the second. Coming up here, Rabiner back on the mound after taking care of business in the top of the first. Leading off for Wellesley, the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. And this one's grounded over to third, juggled by Tandone, but he picks it up and throws to first for out number 1. That one was almost trouble for the Brookline defense, but Armand Tandone recovered well after the ball initially popped out of his glove to snag it quick and make the throw undeterred to first base for the 5-3 groundout. First pitch here misses for ball 1. At the plate for Wellesley, the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. That one dips low and Lynch doesn't bite, ball 2. Last year against Brookline in the first game, Cam Lynch went 1 for 3 with a double, a hit by pitch, and 3 RBI. as he lines a shot into left center. Taken off the hop by Hoffman to at least hold it to a single, as Cam Lynch has his third straight game against Brookline with a base hit, as in the second game he also went 1-for-1 with a walk, 2 hit by pitches, and an RBI. So he's been a very dangerous hitter for Wellesley against Brookline, as a courtesy runner is going to come in for him as the catcher, number 5, Wade Joseph, running in place of the catcher. Throw back to first. A little dangerous, but Joseph gets back safe. At the plate now with a runner at first and 1 out. The catcher, no, not the catcher, the pitcher, number 10, Jack O'Grady, as he takes strike 1 there. O'Grady, of course, eager to add to his own cause here, as that one curves in nicely, strike 2. That one just misses outside, ball 1. O'Grady last year did not appear at the plate in either game, as he swings and misses there for strike 3. Third strikeout of the day for Nico Rabiner. He already has more Ks today than he had in all 4 innings that he pitched against Waltham last week. Now 2 down, a runner still at first. At the plate, the first baseman, number 28, Arun Debar. Joseph dives back safe on the pickoff attempt there. That one low for ball 1. We got a note in the live chat from Mary Walker. Let's go Brookline from Grandma in Groton, New York. As this one sliced foul, headed over our heads and out of play for strike 1. Debar did not appear in either game against Brookline last year, as he tips that one for strike 2. Got fooled by the off speed and came out very in front of that pitch. One and 2 the count. Runner at first, 2 down here in the top of the second. High heat does not fool Debar there. Ball 2. I think I heard someone say it's 3-2. Did I miss a pitch here? I might have missed a pitch. Runner going, and the batter swinging, and sending it into foul territory. Was it caught? No. Devin Chin gave it a chase there, as I think I did miss a pitch. I think it is a full count here to Debar. Chin couldn't quite haul in that one in foul territory. And this one fouled off as well. Debar got kind of fooled by the high off-speed pitch, but still at least managed to get a piece of it to stay alive. And that's going to miss low for ball 4. So I did miss the first pitch of the at-bat there, and that first pitch was a ball. And a 2-out walk for Debar, earning it after a couple big 2-strike foul balls. Now batting the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. First pitch, a fastball in the zone, strike 1. 2 outs, runners at first and second. Wellesley trying to put together a 2-out rally here, as chases that one high for strike 2. Honestly, I think that one fooled me too. I thought that was going to be a breaking ball that was going to drop, and it just never did. Well disguised by Rabiner on that pitch, as he also chases that one high and fouls it off for strike 2. Crean aggressively defending with his swing here. 0-2 the count. And fouls that one off to stay alive. 3 straight foul balls for Crean. As that breaking ball dipped below his bat and he sliced it. That one low and no, it hit the zone. Strike 3. I didn't see the strikeout signal from the ump, but that one placed beautifully in the corner by Nico Rabiner, as he gets out of the second inning harmless. And we move now to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be the bottom of the order. Due up for Brookline, Tandone, Chin, and then back to the top of the order with Brendel. As O'Grady back on the hill for his second inning of work. Another note in the live chat from another one of our regulars, Cheryl Bollinger, checking in from San Diego. And hello to you, Cheryl, out there in warmer weather. You can count me envious. Today a little bit warmer than it was yesterday at least. Temperature, according to my laptop, rates at about 46 degrees. Yesterday we had weather ranging from about 41 down to 39, with a wind chill that dropped it down to a feeling of about 21 degrees yesterday as I was covering girls lacrosse at Downs Field. So definitely envious of anyone living in the Golden State right now, as Armand Tandone fouls off the first pitch he sees, and Devar snags it for out number 1. Well tracked by the Wellesley first baseman. And Armand Tandone, in his first varsity plate appearance, pops out on the first pitch. Now batting for Brookline, the right fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. First pitch inside, ball 1. Chin so far this season 1 for 7 with 2 walks and 1 run scored. That one high and away, ball 2. The corner infielders up on the edge of the infield grass, they know that Chin is a speedster who likes to run on light contact into the infield, as he slices that one foul for strike 1. You can see that Chin tries to swing a little higher. He's trying to hit a grounder because he knows he has tremendous speed up that first base line to give the infielders a challenge. Fouls that one off, strike 2. Chin, of course, had no plate appearances last year, so none against Wellesley, to be sure. Hits a grounder right at third, picked up, thrown to first in time for out number 2. And you can see how important it was for the infielders to position themselves up in that situation. If the third baseman was in a more normal spot, then he might have gotten to that ball just a half second later, and Chin might have made him pay with an infield hit. But instead, a 5-3 ground out, and we cycle back to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel, as he takes a low ball 1. Brendel grounded out back to the pitcher his last time up. Takes a high ball there. 2-0 the count. And that one hits the outside corner, strike one. That one gonna drop low for ball three. 3-1, the count to Brendel. And that's a high ball 4. And Brookline's god of walks continues to display his patience at the plate and draw a 2-out walk. Now batting the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. First pitch way high, ball 1. Bollinger grounded out to short his last time up, hoping he can do something to move Brendel along the bases here. That one dips low, ball 2, good cover by Cam Lynch behind the plate. If that ball had gotten past him, Brendel would have moved into scoring position, and that would have made a very big difference. Bollinger hits a bouncer, slow up to third, picked up, thrown to first, bounces past the third baseman, and the runners will advance on the throwing error. Brendel gonna hold at third as Bollinger goes down to second on E5. Big break for Brookline there as they put runners on second and third for one of their best hitters so far this season, the shortstop number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch gonna hit the zone for strike 1. DiPaolo singled to center and came in to score his last time up. Now meeting at the mound between the pitcher and catcher. A base hit here would drive in at least 1 run, possibly 2. Pitcher takes a beat off the rubber and resets. And that one misses low and away for ball 1, but Lynch saves his team a run there, as if that one had gotten past him, Brendel probably would have come in to score. Fouls that one off, strike 2. An intense situation here in the bottom of the second. O'Grady trying to escape the jam unscathed. DiPaolo trying to add to his team's lead. 1-2 the count, 2 outs, runners at second and third. Just outside, ball 2. You could hear the silence after the ball hit the glove there as everyone was waiting to either hear a strike call or no call signaling a ball. And chops one right at third for out number 3. Got jammed inside, and O'Grady escapes the jam. Brookline gets 2 in scoring position, thanks in large part to a throwing error. But ultimately, Max Boehm, after missing on the throw to first, to put them in that situation. He is the one making the catch to get them out of the jam. During this break between the second and third innings, really quick, I'd like to give another thanks to our sponsor, Esh Dental. Do you have a tooth that just doesn't look right in photos, too far out, too far back, one that prevents you from showing that smile at all? The team at Esh Dental has everything you need to get that smile perfectly aligned. Their average Invisalign case lasts about 9 months, and the treatment is practically invisible compared to metal braces. Adults and teens alike get their teeth straightened and their bites aligned with Esh Dental. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information in the description section down below. We cycle back to the top of the order here on the top of the third as Wills Losh lifts one out to left, and a diving catch made by Owen Hoffman out and left for out number one. A nice leaping grab out and left by the Brookline co-captain to get the first out. Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Max Boehm. First pitch hits the zone as Rabiner catches the low corner, strike one. Boehm went down on strikes his last time up, but he lifts one out to right center now. Brendel chasing it, and it drops right in front of him for a one-out single. Brendel had a chance, but was just a few steps short of getting under that ball. Now batting the center fielder, number 18, Will Webster. First pitch, catches the inside corner, strike one. Webster drew a walk his last time up, as that one's going to miss high and away for ball one. Chases that one low for strike two. 1-2. Now the count to Webster. Swing and a miss, strike three. Rabiner racking up the Ks this time. Like I said, he only got 2 in 4 innings against Waltham, his last outing. And that one right there, his 5th strikeout through 2 2/3. First pitch drops low for ball one to the designated hitter, number 3, Chase Murphy. Murphy went down on strikes his last time up. This one hit, foul and out of play for strike one. Boehm at first with 2 down here in the top of the third. And slices that one. Foul up the right field side for strike two. Rabiner takes a beat off the mound and resets. This one's skied, going to stay in the infield. Be careful. Caught by Eli Hoffman for out number 3. Rabiner continuing to deal for the Warriors. No runs allowed through the first 7 innings of his varsity career, as he keeps Brookline in the lead going into the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Brookline in the bottom half of the inning. Ham, Mazzara, and Eli Hoffman, as O'Grady returns to the hill for the Raiders after effectively escaping the jam in the bottom of the 2nd. And O'Grady actually pitching quite well through the first couple of innings. Just 1 hit, 2 walks, and a hit-by pitch allowed by the Wellesley starter. But a couple of big errors behind him have made things difficult. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the 3rd, the catcher, number 8, Felix Ham. Slices the first one out of play on the first base side for strike 1. Ham drew a 2-out walk his last time up, as he takes that one high for ball 1. And he pops this one up into shallow right. Going back. Oh, they both missed it. They seem to be okay at least, but another defensive miscue for Wellesley as Felix Ham goes down to 2nd. That was a tough one for Wellesley. You know, it's important at this moment that, we go over the fundamentals of what to do when multiple players are calling for a fly ball. The general rule of thumb is that outfielders get the call over infielders. As a new courtesy runner comes out for Felix Ham, that'll be number 6, Rasik Y. Carr. So yeah, that's generally the call. Shortstop has the call over the rest of the infielders. Outfield has the call over the infield. Center field has the call over the other outfielders. O'Grady steps off the mound to check on Y. Carr at 2nd before squaring off with the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. That one in the zone for strike 1. Mazzara, of course, hit the ball that brought in Brookline's first run as he reached on an E6 on a pop-up that was just kind of lost in the sun. Shows bunt and fouls it off. Strike 2. Oh, and 2, the count to Mazzara. Runner at 2nd, nobody out. And he launches one deep out to left. This one heading towards the wall, and it's caught! Caught by the center fielder as Mazzara looked like he was going to send that one way back and out of reach, but ultimately it'll just go down as a fly out to center field as Will Webster hustling out there to get the first out. Now at the plate, the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. He takes an inside ball one. Dang, I was getting excited for that one. That one was so high and so deep, I was starting to wonder if I was going to see my first Brookline home run at Warren Field. But no dice there. Hoffman fouls off that pitch for strike one. Hoffman, his last time up, got hit by a pitch. Now with one out and a runner at second. That one gonna miss, outside ball two. Lifts one out to left. Left fielder chasing, and he's got the catch for out number two. That one almost dropped into the gap, but just a little too much air under that ball. And after two tough flyouts, Brookline goes from no outs with a runner in scoring position to 2 outs with the runner still in that same spot. Now up the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. That one in the zone, strike one. Brookline hoping they can move the runner at second base. So far, Brookline has stranded 5 runners on the bases through the first 2 innings, 4 of them in scoring position. As that one drops low, well blocked by Lynch. Ball one. Slices this one foul and could not be caught. Daybar actually did a good job tracking that one over his head there, trying to make a Willie Mays catch, but it just popped out of his glove. You know, can't hold that one against him, as that would have been a really nice catch if he had made it. That one low, ball two. 2-2 the count to Hoffman. With 2 down and a runner at second. That one a high, ball 3, good eye by Hoffman. A full count here. Hoffman, his last time up, went down on strikes with the bases loaded and 2 down. Trying to do something here with a runner at second and 2 down. Slices that foul and out of play. Hoffman stays alive with a full count. Lynch coming out to talk to O'Grady and plan for their next attempt at a payoff pitch. Slices it foul again to stay alive. Hoffman giving O'Grady a battle here. Reaches out, slices it foul down the right field side and out of reach for the right fielder. And Hoffman still battling. They settle in for another try at the payoff pitch. Reaches out and slices it foul again. Important to note why Carr is not running on every single pitch because there's no force here. So if Hoffman drew a walk, then it would be better for him to get back to second. That one curves into the high corner, strike three. A hard-fought battle, but O'Grady puts just enough subtle movement on that last pitch to fool Hoffman with the breaking ball into the high corner. And that ends the third inning. Our score at the end of 3, Brookline 1, Wellesley 0. And boy, give O'Grady a lot of credit. You know, he's had to face, you know, at least one critical fielding error every inning so far, and he's managed to come out of it with just one unearned run. For as strong as Rabener's been so far, O'Grady has been turning in a gutsy performance all his own, as through these first 3 innings, we got ourselves a real pitcher's duel going here. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Raiders: Goggin, Lynch, and O'Grady. Rabener back on the hill for his 4th inning of work here for Brookline. Now leading off for Wellesley here in the top of the 4th, the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. Goggin grounded out to third his last time up. Takes strike 1 there. And that one hangs high for ball 1. Low fastball, low and away for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Goggin. Blows the fastball by him there, high and inside, strike 2. High heat there, ball 3. Full count now to Goggin. That one just low. Hom tried to frame it, but the ump wasn't buying it. Ball 4. A leadoff walk for Will Goggin. Now coming up, the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. Lynch hit a single his last time up as a throw back to first, and Goggin just gets back safe. That one inside, ball 1. Lynch responsible for one of Wellesley's 2 base hits so far today. That one low, well blocked by Hom behind the plate. 2-0 the count. Again, the catcher's role so important in this situation with runners on base. That one hits the zone, strike one. And a timeout called by Lynch as they reset. That one curves in perfectly, strike two. So Rabiner bouncing back after missing his first couple pitches. Now a 2-2 count to Lynch. Ooh, that one went off the end of his bat. So that'll be a foul ball, and the count will remain 2-2. And that's always got to be so frustrating for a hitter. You know you've got a pitch outside the zone. It should be a ball, but because it bounces off the end of your bat, it counts as a strike. Hits a chopper up the third baseline, foul. Still a 2-2 count to Lynch. Oh, but that one skips in the dirt. Hom lost track of it. The runner is taking off, and he's going to beat the throw. It was a late takeoff by Goggin, but Hom just lost track of it. And then that pitch going to miss high, so in the end it didn't matter. Lynch draws the walk and 2 straight free passes given up by Rabiner. And head coach Brendan O'Connor going to come out to talk to his pitcher here. It's a tight situation to be in, just a 1-run game. And 2 free bases given up with no outs. As once again, Joseph comes in as the courtesy runner for Lynch. And it'll be pitcher against pitcher here, as coming to the plate, number 10, Jack O'Grady. Shows bunt, fouls it off, and Hom actually took a stab at it, but could not snag it out of the air there. That'll simply be strike one. O'Grady hoping to move both runners into scoring position in exchange for just 1 out. Corner infielders pulled up on the grass. Shows bunt, but it drops low. So it'll be ball 1. Rabiner trying to not give O'Grady anything easy to square up and lay down as a bunt. But this one gets laid down clean, picked up by Rabiner, thrown to first. And that'll be out number 1, but O'Grady does his job and moves the runners. So 2 in scoring position with just 1 out. Now coming up the first baseman, number 28, Arun Debar. Debar drew a walk his last time up. The whole infield pulled in on the grass here, hoping that they could potentially make a play at the plate if Debar hits a grounder, as it takes strike 1 on that first pitch. Middle infielders pulling back, though, as that one inside ball 1. And that might have been planned. They might have pulled back because they knew the pitch was going to be inside and try and jam for a pop-up. A throw down to third to check on the runner. But Goggin dives back safe. Goggin at third, Joseph the courtesy runner at second. That one hits the zone for strike two. 1-2. You know Rabiner would like to get a strikeout here. A second out would be crucial. And that one does hit the zone for strike three. Big second out get for Rabiner. My apologies for all these delayed calls. These are slow strikeout signals that we're getting here today. But you know what? Can do what he wants. You know, why not add a little bit of style and slow-mo pizzazz? First pitch drops low. Batter checks his swing, ball one. This batter at the plate with 2 down and 2 in scoring position. The left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. Hits a chopper over to short, fielded clean by DePaulo. Throw to first in time for out number 3, and the Warriors get out of the jam. Superb pitching job from Nico Rabiner, as for the second game in a row to start his varsity career, he has pitched 4 shutout innings. And we'll see what Brookline decides to do next inning. Rabiner has now gone through the Wellesley batting order twice. And usually you want to take a pitcher out after he goes through the order twice, if you can help it, is what we've seen for Brookline's strategy so far. But again, with how well he's pitching, you might want to keep him in for a little longer, see if you can get more out of him with how well he's doing. But on the other hand, that was a bit of a shaky inning last inning, allowing runners to get to second and third with 1 out. But we'll see what Brookline decides to do. And in large part, it might depend on what they do offensively here in the bottom of the 4th, as they'll have the 8-9-1 hitters coming up. Tandone, Chin, and Brendel. Leading off here, the third baseman, number 16, Armand Tandone. Tandone popped up to first in foul territory his last time up. Takes strike 1 here. And now lifts one into center field. And Webster under it. Can of corn for out number 1. Now up, the right fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. Chin grounded out to third his last time up. And once again, the corner infielders up on the grass, as that one low for ball 1. It's also important for the corner infielders to play in, because Chin is not averse to trying to lay down a bunt, but he swings away there and fouls it off to the backstop. Strike 1. It's a tight contest out here at Warren Field, and it's only going to get tighter as the game marches on and both teams run out of outs to work with. Is that one high and away for ball 2? Slices that one, foul for strike 2. 2-2, the count to Chin. That one caught the inside corner. Looks like it was going to be ball 3, but instead it is strike 3. 2 down now, and the base is empty. Up comes the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. Brendel 0 for 1 today with a ground out and a walk. First pitch low and in, ball 1. And he skies this one deep out to right, and that's going to go over the right fielder's head and towards the wall. Elias Brendel going for 2, and he's going to stop at 2 with a 2-out double. That's a big play from Elias Brendel, but he's going to need some help turning that into a score. And still, Wellesley just 1 out away from getting out of the inning. Up comes the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger 0 for 2 so far today with a ground out and a reach on error as he takes strike 1 there. Bollinger hoping he can come through with a hit to drive in Brendel and add to Brookline's lead. Takes that one to the outside corner for strike 2. Bollinger down early here, 0-2. Runner's going, and Bollinger slices this one up in the air. Oh, he dropped it! He dropped it! Brookline scores another run on an error! Boy, what a tough day for the Wellesley defense, as another sky-high pop-up with the runner going on contact with 2 outs produces a run for the Warriors. Bollinger taking off for second on the first pitch, but it's fouled to the backstop for strike 1. The shortstop, number 22, Jimmy DiPaolo, at the plate for Brookline, as Brookline leads 2-0. This one skips, and Bollinger, bit of a late takeoff, slides in, safe. Bit of a delayed takeoff, so I'm not sure if you score that a steal or a wild pitch. That's what I'm going to have to check on the box score later tonight. But either way, a runner in scoring position now, and a 1-1 count to DiPaolo, as he is hoping he can potentially add to Brookline's lead. Slices this one, foul and out of play, strike 2. DiPaolo 1 for 2 so far today with a single and a pop out to third. One and two the count, runner at second, 2 down. Brookline leads by 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. DiPaolo caught chasing the breaking ball, and that will end the inning. But Brookline gets another run on the board, taking advantage of another defensive mistake. And at the end of 4, our score, Brookline 2, Wellesley 0. During this break between the 4th and 5th inning, I'd like to once again thank our sponsor, Esch Dental. Do you have a tooth that's been worked on once, twice, 3 times, and it's still giving you problems? Have you been told it's time to give up the fight on that tooth and have it extracted? Hey, it happens to a lot of us. Dr. Esch performs a multitude of procedures to get that infected tooth out and an implant in. All of Dr. Esch's implants are digitally guided, which means the surgery takes place on a digital model of your jaw before your appointment. Digital implant placement is the safest, fastest, most predictable way to turn that problem tooth into a fixed and beautiful solution. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdenttal.com. All that information in the description section down below. We go back to the top of the Wellesley order as Brookline goes back to Nico Rabiner for his 5th inning of work. First pitch in the zone for strike 1 at the plate, the second baseman, number 2, Will Zalosh. As he lifts one out to right, and that's going to drop in for a leadoff hit. So Zalosh immediately putting pressure on as he gets his first hit of the day. Now coming to the plate, the third baseman, number 14, Max Boehm. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. So I hadn't reset the count, so that just works right there. Boehm so far today, 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. That one low, well blocked by Hom for ball 1. Zalosh might be a little more cautious on the base paths. He was thrown out trying to steal second back in the first inning. This one chopped high out to right, Chin tracking it, and he's got it for out number 1. One out here as up comes the center fielder, number 18, Will Webster. Webster 0 for 1 so far with a walk and a strikeout today. First pitch misses, ball 1. Zalosh at first, 1 out. 2-run ball game here in the top of the 5th. As that one gonna miss outside, ball 2. That one does hit the zone, strike 1. It's really impressive to watch how Rabiner works side to side with his pitch placement. He went inside, outside, and then the middle part of the zone as he fools him with a breaking ball there for strike 2. 2-2, the count to Webster. That's going to be a high ball 3. Well snagged by Hom, as that could have easily gone over his head for a wild pitch and moved Zalosh into scoring position. But still 1 ball away from moving into scoring position, full count. And it's going to be a low ball 4. Webster with his second free pass of the day. 2 on, 1 out. As it'll be another meeting at the mound with Rabiner. Just to check and see how he's doing, maybe settle him down. As Wellesley's starting to threaten, they've now got the tying run at first with 1 out. Excuse me, sir. Just move. This one fouled off, strike 1. Murphy 0 for 2 so far today, a strikeout and a pop out to first. And he hits a grounder, going to go through the right gap into right field. Runner's going to go around third, head to the plate, and he's going to beat the throw. As Murphy's going to be caught between second and first, the catcher stumbles, throws, and the tag is applied. And Murphy is going to be out, trying to stretch things on the throw. Miscommunication on the bases, but He does end Brookline's shutout with an RBI single through the gap. So Losh in to score, and Wellesley cuts Brookline's lead in half. This one curves to the outside for ball one. At the plate now with a runner at second and 2 down is the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. Swing and a miss there, strike one. Rabiner hoping to bounce back and get out of the inning after giving up the first run of his varsity career. Sliced off the backstop, strike two. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout from Rabiner, and he gets out of the 5th inning with the lead intact. Chase Murphy with the RBI single to break the shutout, but just some miscommunication on the base paths prevents Wellesley from doing any more damage. It was tough because, a lot of times when there's a throw home, it's, expected that the runners will try and advance, but Webster, who would have had the riskier path from going from second to third, opted to go for a more cautious approach and wait back at second, but Murphy didn't realize that his teammate was going to hold there, and so he was caught in between the bags trying to go back. And Brookline able to make him pay off a quick tag from Eli Hoffman. And then Rabiner with another strikeout to end the inning, as he's now got 7 Ks today through 5 innings. Tight contest here between Brookline and Wellesley. Once again, it's a 1-run ball game as we move to the bottom of the 5th. And for Brookline, it'll be their 4, 5, 6 hitters, Ham, Mazzara, and Eli Hoffman. Leading off, the catcher, number 8, Felix Ham. That first one dips in low for ball one. That one's going to be low for ball two. Ham, so far today, he's drawn a walk and he's reached on an error. Takes strike one there. 2-1 the count. And Ham slices this one, a pop-up. Zalosh under it for out number 1. One down, now coming up, the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Mazzara, so far today, is 0 for 2. He's reached on an error and flown out to center as he slices that one foul and out of play, strike two. We know he's got some power in his swing with that deep shot he launched to left center, but still looking for his first hit of the day. That one catches the inside corner. Great movement on that pitch for strike 3. O'Grady still dealing here in the bottom of the 5th. He's got 2 quick outs with the bases empty here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Eli Hoffman, gonna miss for ball 1. Hoffman 0 for 1 so far today. He has been hit by a pitch and he's flown out to left as he takes that one high and away for ball 2. That one gonna miss, ball 3, and a quick hitter's count here to the younger Hoffman, 3-0. And that one is gonna miss, and it'll be a 4-pitch walk. So 2 outs and a runner at first as up comes the left fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. What the? Oh, we got a pinch. I think we got a pinch hitter here. Yeah, we got a pinch hitter in place of Owen Hoffman. I'm trying to see. I think that's number 27 as he takes strike 1 there. I think I heard 2-5 as that one fouled off for another strike. Trying to spot the jersey number, a little tough here. Having a little bit of a tough time. So that one's going to miss high. If it's number 25, I think that's Max Kaufman. And I think the count is 1-2 now. Chases it low for strike 3. It does bounce. Catcher trying to pick it up, throw to first, and he does get him for the 3rd out. It's actually number 24, Lincoln Hafner, who was batting, as I could not for the life of me figure that one out. It's a bit hard sometimes identifying righties from this first base side, and we have had a little bit of visibility trouble with the first base coach a little bit today. But that is going to end the 5th inning here. And at the end of 5, our score, Brookline 2, Wellesley 1. And we got a change on the mound for Brookline. Taking over for Rabiner is number 10, Ben Cody. Cody has made 2 relief appearances for Brookline so far today. Got the save in that win against Waltham with 3 innings of relief. He's pitched 7 2/3 innings so far through his first 2 appearances, posting a strong ERA of 0.91, a whip of 1.34, and 4 strikeouts. So he's been strong out of the pen for Brookline so far, and they want him strong today in what is a tight ball game so far. He'll be facing Lynch, O'Grady, and Daybar here in the top of the 6th. Rabiner lasts 5 innings, gives up 1 earned run. And if Brookline can hold on to this lead the rest of the way, he will be the pitcher on credit for the win. And O'Grady currently the pitcher on credit for the loss if Wellesley cannot come back and tie this one. which has got to be tough for a pitcher that's given up 0 earned runs so far. But again, what a strong pitching outing it has been for both teams in this contest. We'll see how Brookline's new pitcher handles coming in this tight situation, and we'll see how Wellesley adjusts to facing some different stuff coming from the mound. First pitch curves in for strike one. At the plate, the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. That one just low, ball one. Those of you who have watched Cody pitch before, you know he likes working those slower breaking balls. That time worked what looks like a cut fastball there for strike two. Little bit of movement, but ultimately faster than his first 2 pitches. And this one launched deep out to center. Brendel on his horse going back for it. It's off the wall. Extra bases here for Cam Lynch to start the inning as he leads off with a double to deep center. Cody seemed to be in command of that situation, but Lynch launches a rocket deep to center. And as Joseph, the courtesy runner, takes his spot at second, Wellesley threatening here to potentially tie this game. At the plate, the pitcher, number 10, Jack O'Grady. That one drops low, blocked by Hom, ball one. O'Grady so far 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a sac bunt. That one just misses outside, ball two. Two and 0 the count to O'Grady. Runner at second, nobody out. And that one misses as well, ball three. Cody painting the corners, but he's painting just outside the lines here. Falling behind in the count here, 3-0. This one sliced, and it's playable, and colliding with the runner was Cody. Oh, Cody is down hurt. They're going to call O'Grady out for runner interference. And they're going to pause the action so they can check on Cody there. Standing up, it looks like he's going to try and walk it off as his left knee or his left thigh kind of collided with O'Grady there. And this could be trouble for Brookline. Cody, like I said, he's been such a strong reliever for them so far. And I mean, that left leg, that's your plant leg effectively as a pitcher. It's not your base is your back leg, but you plant with your front leg when you deliver that pitch. Cody looks like he's going to try and walk this off. Going to throw some warm-ups. Seems like he's been able to shake this one off. And so O'Grady is out for runner interference because Cody would have caught that ball if O'Grady hadn't collided with him. So 1 out now, runner at second. Up comes the first baseman, number 28, Arun Debar. First pitch curves into the zone, strike one. I was really surprised that O'Grady swung on that pitch to begin with. I thought the count was 3-0. Maybe I misread one of the calls from the ump, and maybe there was a strike in that count. As that one drops low and away for ball one. Tying run still in scoring position for the Raiders. As that one hangs high for ball two. Two and one the count, 1 out. Runner at second here in the top of the sixth, and a one-run ball game between Brookline and Wellesley. Swing and a miss, strike two. Debar trying to time up that breaking ball there, but I think it broke just a little bit less than he was expecting, and he swung under it. 2-2 the count. Timeout called by Debar here as he resets in the box with a 2-2 count. Hits a hard one up the middle into center field, fielded by Brendel, and he rifles it back into the infield. Runner was not going for home, but Debar will go down to second on the throw. And that puts two runners in scoring position now with 1 out here. Wellesley not just threatening to tie anymore, they are threatening to potentially take the lead. Now batting, the left fielder, number 6, Dylan Crean. All four Brookline infielders up on the grass here. As the first pitch to Crean curves in for strike one. Crean so far today, he has struck out, grounded out to short, 0 for 2 so far. As he takes strike two there. Cody trying to get the second out without allowing the runners to move. Crean trying to at least get one runner home to tie the game. Reaches out, pops one up, and with the infield in, that's going to drop in right field. One run is in, and Wellesley ties the game off the bloop single from Dylan Crean. Would have been a tough play either way, even if the infield hadn't been pulled in. But with the infield pulled in, there was no shot there. Dylan Crean comes through big for the Raiders. And this will go down as a no decision for Rabiner as Wellesley ties the game. Now we cycle back to the top of the order with second baseman number 2, Will Zalosh. Tips that one for strike one. An interesting situation here as the corner infielders are going to be playing in for Brookline to potentially cover home, but the middle infielders are going to play back to cover the potential double play. And he lines this one into center, and Wellesley will take the lead on an RBI single from Will Zalosh. Debar in to score. And now a mound visit for Ben Cody, who came in a tight spot and just hasn't been able to get out of it. allowing 3 consecutive hits to Debar, Krian, and Zalosh. And that's going to be the end of the day for Cody. And after the go-ahead single by Will Zalosh, Brookline going to sub in a new pitcher. This is going to be number 28, Q Miller. So Cody will be the pitcher on the hook for the loss as he lasts 1/3 of an inning, gives up 2 earned runs, possibly more, as he leaves 2 inherited runners on the bases. Q Miller making his 2nd varsity career relief appearance as he pitched 1.2 innings. I believe it was the Natick game that he pitched in, as he pitched 1.2 shutout innings. Well, not entirely shutout innings. I think he gave up at least 1 inherited runner to score, but that doesn't go to him. A whip of 1.2 and 2 strikeouts in that last outing. So Miller in a high-pressure situation here. The game is still close, still very doable for Brookline to get back in this game with 2 innings to go. But with 2 runners on and only 1 out, this could get out of hand fast if Miller doesn't get out of this inning in a hurry. Coming to the plate now, the 3rd baseman, number 14, Max Boehm. Zalosh at first, Krian at second. 1 out, Wellesley now in command, leading Brookline 3-2. First pitch from Miller misses just a bit outside, ball 1. And that one going to miss outside, ball 2. Miller's got a bit of a diagonal, almost sidearm delivery, so his pitchers are going to pull to the outside of the plate for righties. So far, they've been pulling too far, 2-0 the count. This one drops in the dirt, juggled by Hom. Runner's going to take off, safe at both bases. Second and third now. That eliminates the chance of a double play that could have ended the inning, as that one hits the zone, strike 1. This is what's so tough about being a reliever in high school. You come in, you have very little time to get in your groove before things can get out of hand. But Miller trying to rebound here as he throws back-to-back strikes, gets Boehm to a full count. Infield pulled in for a potential play at the plate if Boehm hits a grounder. And he does hit a grounder, fielded it short by DePaulo. He's going to come home, and the tag is applied. And that right there is a textbook example of why you bring the infield in that situation. Big second out get for Brookline, as Crean thrown out at home. Now batting the center fielder, number 18, Will Webster. Still a one-run ball game after that big snag and throw out at home by Jimmy DiPaolo. First pitch to Webster is low for ball one. Runners at the corners with two down. They got a force at second and first if it's a ground ball. Bohem's going to take off between pitches. It's a decoy play, and the run is going to come in for Wellesley. They are going to catch Bohem on the pickle to end the inning, but the double steal allows Wellesley to score. I've seen Brookline pull that play a number of times, especially in the Summer League, but I've never seen it pulled off against them, but it is pulled off there. Zalosh in to score. Bohem out between first and second, but Zalosh came across the plate first before Bohem was tagged out, and so the run counts. That's the rule. If it's not a force play, then that and the run comes across before the tag is applied, then the run counts. We're going to have another pitching substitution here, this time for Wellesley. Number 21, Cole Defina, taking over for O'Grady. O'Grady was still the pitcher on record when Wellesley took the lead, and so O'Grady is the pitcher on credit for the win unless Brookline can come back and tie it. For Brookline, it'll be their 8-9-1 hitters. Due up Tandone, Chin, and Brendel. They've got 2 innings to try and make up this 2-run deficit. Leading off, the third baseman, number 16, Armand Tandone. First pitch is low for ball one. Tandone 0 for 2 so far today, with a pop out to first and a fly out to center. Takes that one high for ball 2. And a high ball 3 as Defina struggling to control his stuff early. A 3-0 hitter's count here. That one will hit the zone, and Tandone's taking it all the way. Strike 1. And that one's going to miss. Armand Tandone reaches base for the first time in his varsity career with a leadoff walk. Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Devin Chin. We saw how tough it can be for relievers in the top half of this inning, as Chin takes ball 1 there. Tandone leading off from first. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. chin so far today. He has grounded out to third and struck out. And he lays down the bunt up the third base side, picked up by the third baseman, throw to first. Just barely in time by a half a step. But he does advance the runner on the sac bunt. You know, I like the call there. Devin Chin is like the one guy that you think has a pretty decent chance of making it to first on a bunt. And if he doesn't make it in that situation, you still get a runner into scoring position. Now batting the center fielder, number 9, Elias Brendel. First pitch high, ball 1. Brendel, his last time up, hit a double to deep right and later came in to score on a fielding error. And a timeout called just before Defina could throw the pitch. Runner at second, 1 out. Brookline trails by 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. And Brendel hits a hard bouncer right to second. Zalosh fields it clean and throws him out at first for the second out. He does advance Tandone down to third. But Brookline's going to need either a hit or a wild pitch to potentially bring in the run here. As now coming up the second baseman, number 14, Hugh Bollinger. Bollinger, his last time up, reached on an E3. That brought in Brendel for Brookline's second run. But now he's hoping he can reach again to bring in Tandone. That one bounces, well blocked by Lynch. For ball 1, Lynch's job very important here. If something gets by him, Tandone could potentially come in to score from third. And Bollinger hits a high bouncer past Zalosh into center, and in comes Tandone. Hugh Bollinger with a big 2-out RBI single. It is a 1-run ball game once again off a clutch hit from Hugh Bollinger. Small ball winning the day for Brookline in this bottom half of the inning, that is. A walk, a sac bunt, a ground out to move the runner, and then a single up the middle. Throw back to first, check on Bollinger. He gets back. This is a big potential situation to steal, and Bollinger did advance to second his last time on the base paths, so they're going to keep an eye on him. Jimmy DiPaolo at the plate as he takes a high one for ball 1. DiPaolo, so far today, he got a single and scored a run back in the first. Popped out to third in the second, struck out in the fourth. As he takes one low for ball 2 there. So 1 for 3 with a run scored so far for DiPaolo. But you know he'd like to come through with a big hit to move Bollinger along the bases. Hits a chopper to third, fielded cleanly. Boehm throws to first, and that'll be out number 3. Brookline cuts the lead in half, but they still trail going into the 7th and final inning. Our score after 6, Wellesley 4, Brookline 3. During this break between the 6th and 7th innings, I'd like to take a moment to once again thank our local sponsor for today, Esch Dental. Esch Dental in Coolidge Corner doesn't just focus on smile rehabilitation. Their real passion is smile preservation. If you are ready for a local, sophisticated, sole ownership dental office to take care of your 6-month cleanings, no need to look any further than Esch Dental. You can easily book online at eschdental.com or call 617-566-0103. Once again, that's EASHDENTAL.com or call 617-566-0103. And you can see the information on Esch Dental in the description section down below. You can also see the link for the at-bat for Brookline Booster Club, as well as the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. Going into the top of the 7th here, Q Miller back on the hill for Brookline, trying to keep this a one-run ball game so Brookline can try and make something happen in the bottom half of the inning. But first, he's got to take care of business against the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Wellesley, Webster, Murphy, and Goggin. Stepping back to the plate, the center fielder, number 18, Will Webster. Takes a low ball one. Webster was at the plate when the inning ended in the top of the 6th, but it ended with a runner being caught between the bags. And so he's back to finish his plate appearance. That one in the zone, strike one. That one way high, ball 2. Another reliever warming up in the pen for Wellesley. Swing and a miss there, strike 2. 2-2, the count to Webster. Here to start the top of the 7th. That one skips in the dirt, ball 3. And we get a full count to start the inning. This one skied for a pop-up, being tracked by Bollinger, and he's got it for out number 1. So nice first out get to start for Miller. Now batting, the designated hitter, number 3, Chase Murphy. Murphy drove in Wellesley's first run with an RBI single back in the 5th. Takes strike 1 on the breaking ball there. That one skips away for ball 1. Like I said earlier in the game, pitcher certainly grateful to get that pitch out of their system with nobody on base. This one sliced foul and out of play. Strike 2. Murphy got jammed high and inside on that one. Now a 1-2 count. That's a high heat. That's way too high. You could see Murphy was thinking about it, but when it comes in that high, you're not going to get the hitter to bite. 2-2 the count. Ooh, it hit him. Breaking ball that did not break there. And Murphy gets the free pass to first. So 1 out, runner at first. Up comes the shortstop, number 1, Will Goggin. Shows bunt, pulls back, and the wild pitch ricochets off the backstop and gives Murphy an easy pass to second. That one misses outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count, runner at second, 1 out. That one in the zone, strike 1. And he skies this one out to right. Chin tracking it, has the catch for out number 2, and the runner is going to hold at second. Two down as up comes the catcher, number 22, Cam Lynch. Lynch, his last time up, got that big 6th inning rally, started with a double to deep center as he takes a low ball 1 there. Lynch having a strong day at the plate. I think he's reached in every single one of his plate appearances, a single, a walk, and a double, as he takes strike 1 there. Miller trying to get out of the top of the 7th with it still just a 1-run ball game. Wellesley trying to add an insurance run. That one inside, ball 2. Murphy still standing at second for the Raiders. And chops that one foul, strike 2. Still a 2-2 count here with 2 down and a runner at second. That one's going to drop low for ball 3. Full count to Lynch. Miller trying to end the inning. Lynch trying to extend his team's lead, or at least extend their time on offense here on the top of the 7th. Hits a chopper foul up the third base line. Count still full. And he chased it low, hits a grounder over to third, fielded and tagged by Tandone for out number 3. Again, Wellesley's base runner collides with the fielder between the bags. And this time he even had the ball in his hands for the tag. We go now to the bottom of the 7th. Brookline with one last chance. They need at least 1 run to try and tie. 2 runs would win it. Cole Defina back on the mound to face Brookline's 4, 5, 6 hitters, Ham, Mazzara, and Eli Hoffman. Here we go. Bottom of the 7th. Leading off, the catcher, number 8, Felix Hom. First pitch in the zone, strike one. That one skips in the dirt, ball one. Defina had a bit of trouble with control to start his relief outing last inning, giving up the leadoff walk, but since then his control seems to have recovered. That one catches the low outside corner for strike two. Hom fouls that one off, stays alive at 1-2. Hom hits a grounder over to third, fielded by Boehm. Throw to first, pulls him off the bag, and Hom is going to reach on the error. Hom going back to first as he got hit in the helmet. Lynch was trying to make a heads-up play, saying that Hom turned left after reaching first, and so maybe they could get him going back to the bag, but no dice. Felix Hom reaches on the E5, and it'll be the courtesy runner, Rasik Y. Carr, representing the potential tying run for Brookline. Defensive mistakes have been plaguing the Raiders all day long. Could that one come back to bite them here in the bottom of the 7th? Now batting the designated hitter, number 23, Jonathan Mazzara, shows bunt and fouls it over the backstop for strike one. Mazzara, not the type of hitter you expect to be laying down bunts, but Brookline wants to get the potential tying run into scoring position. Third baseman going to play in on the grass on the possibility of the bunt there. Shows bunt again, pulls back for a ball. Mazzara still looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 3 with a reach on error, a flyout to center, and a strikeout. Carr takes off for second. It's a high ball. Throw down to second. Goes wild. Backed up well by the shortstop, but Carr successfully steals second and moves into scoring position. The tying run at second with nobody out for Brookline. Jonathan Mazzara now free to swing away with his big bat. 2-1 the count. Takes a high ball, 3. 3-1, more good work by Lynch, preventing the potential wild pitches, which is especially crucial here in the final inning. And that's a high and in, ball 4. Mazzara draws the free pass. Coach coming out to talk to Defina, and we might see a call to the bullpen here. Tying run at second, winning run at first for Brookline here in the bottom of the 7th with nobody out. In the live chat, an inning or two back, we got a note from one of our student broadcasters, Nico Wise, saying, "Go Warriors." Thanks for tuning in, Nico. Wish I could have you here with me for such a thrilling game, but happy to see you tuning in. Now batting for Brookline, the first baseman, number 18, Eli Hoffman. Wellesley going to stick with Defina. The corner infielders pulled in, anticipating a sac bunt as Defina turns around to check on Waikar at second. A sac bunt here highly expected, as that could put the tying run at third and the winning run at second. Shows bunt, lays it down, in play, picked up by Lynch. Throw to first, goes wild! Brookline's going to tie the game on the throwing error. Waikar in, Mazzara rounding third. Could they win it? Yes, they will! Brookline with the walk-off sac bunt. Or wait, no, they said it was out of play. They said it was out of play, and so Mazzara goes back to third. Eli Hoffman at second, but Waikar does come in to score, and Brookline has tied the game. Runners at second and third, and they're going to pull the outfielders in too. As Brookline is going to go back to Owen Hoffman. They pinch hit Lincoln Hafner for him last time. Can Brookline's co-captain deliver the walk-off hit here? First pitch, and he slams it out to left. And it's going to go over the left fielder's head. Owen Hoffman calls game, and Brookline wins it. Owen Hoffman just took a high chop at that first pitch, launched it out to left, and drives in Jonathan Mazzara with the game-winning run, and Brookline wins it in walk-off fashion. What a game! Back and forth these teams have fought. And Brookline able to get the comeback walk-off win in the bottom of the seventh. How about that one? We went from 1-0 Brookline to 2-0 Brookline to 2-1 Brookline to 3-2 Wellesley to 4-2 Wellesley to 4-3 Wellesley, and then 5-4 Brookline in the bottom of the seventh. And once again, a tough day for Wellesley defensively, as multiple errors in the bottom of the seventh come back to bite them. Felix Hom reaching on the throwing error to start the inning. And then Eli Hoffman's attempted sacrifice bunt turned into a game-tying reach on error. And then Owen Hoffman lifts one out to left. That was either going to be a sac fly or a single. I think you can give him the single on that one, but I'm going to double-check the box score. Either way, he gets the RBI, because even if that was caught, that would have been a sac fly, and Mazzara would have scored either way. That's why they had the outfielders pulled in that play. But Owen Hoffman, the senior co-captain, delivering the game-winning shot for Brookline in the bottom of the seventh. What a thriller. So Brookline improves to 2-2 on the season with that one, back up to 500. Wellesley, I didn't have a chance to check their win-loss record before the game. I'm going to check it really quick right now. They were 2-0 coming into this one off of blowout wins over Milton and Winchester. They suffered their first loss of the year here. But you know what? I say give a lot of credit to both teams. This was a thrilling contest. Very well pitched contest on both sides. We had ourselves a real pitcher's duel, and then some scrappy offensive play to come through with some runs late in the game for both sides, as Wellesley came back from their early deficit to take a late lead, and then Brookline came through with some big plays to get the late comeback win. Well, that's going to do it for this one. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. One last thank you to our sponsor for today, Esh Dental. The team at Esh Dental understands dental anxiety. Some patients just need a friendly face to put them at ease. Others need the help of additional gases or medications to put them at ease. Dr. Esh and his team can help you wherever you are on the journey to find a solution to manage your anxiety. Call 617-566-0103 or book online at eshdental.com. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to EASHDENTAL.com. Once again, thank you to Esh Dental for sponsoring this broadcast. And you can find that link and phone number for them down in the description section down below. You can also find the link for the At Bat for Brookline Booster Club and also the link and phone number for our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Food Pantry. All of that in the description section down below, and further down below in the description section, you can find some information related to me, which you can also find in the bottom right corner of your screen. My personal website, jessesports.com, or you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or if you want to skip past all that, you can email me directly with any questions, requests, or comments you may have. And don't forget to follow me on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Brookline 5, Wellesley 4, Owen Hoffman with the walk-off heroics in the bottom of the 7th. From Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.